Hey guys, welcome to this week's podcast episode. I've got a fantastic guest for you today, Femi Doyle-Marshall from Canada, and he's going to talk to us all about the purposeful work week, being an entrepreneur, balancing business and personal life, and it's going to be an all-around great conversation. He's in his element, and I'm looking forward to the show. So, Femi, welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here, Chris. Like really excited.
Yeah, I know you're a leading business growth consultant, you're a time management coach. So kind of talk about your story, how you got to do what you do, set the stage for a great conversation.
Yeah, man, it's kind of crazy to think of how far life can take you, you know? I was building businesses and getting things moving from when I was 16. So like I launched my first health and fitness coaching business when I was 16. I was basically in high school when I started. But before that, I was always thinking of like how can I get something going that's my own that I run, I manage, I control. And I was selling jewelry, bracelets, I was doing promotions and all of these types of stuff. Yet I really found success when I figured out what my element was for that time, which was coaching. Ran my coaching business for over 10 years. Amazing team of coaches, working, had our own facility, transforming lives, health and fitness, stuff like that. And what I was finding though is as I was building that brand and building that business, I wasn't really finding time for myself, right? I was really exhausting myself. I was commuting an hour to and fro. Like it was kind of crazy. And at the time I recently got married, and this is obviously years ago. But I kind of was like, this is not life. Like there has to be a better way for me to build my business around my life. There has to be a better way for me to manage this. And it wasn't until I actually got sick, um, like really bad. I ended up having to go to emerge. My blood pressure was 220 over something. And I was basically working myself into exhaustion at this point in time and couldn't work for a month, but that was really transformative for my business. My business grew. I was in my house. I couldn't do anything, and my team was excelling. And at that point, I was like, whoa, maybe I got something different. At that time, I kind of dabbled in consulting other businesses just casually, and I was seeing them either make more money or scale their business or outsource stuff. But I didn't really realize that I had these tools that can help other business leaders up until like 2020. And that was the foundation when the pandemic hit. Our studio, we closed it, and I launched REBOOTX Academy with my wife, and like everything just transformed. Like it's kind of crazy how life can take you from one aspect of a business or one area of your life and show you how you can serve other people. So that's kind of short story of where I was at 10, 15 years ago and kind of where I'm at now, where we work with basically business owners and entrepreneurs and organizations around the world managing their time, growing their business more effectively. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that, and I love how kind of life hands you some lemons, but you turned it into lemonade, and you learn how to become a business owner and like manage people and systems and software. So, one thing kind of would I have it broken down into five different categories, and one thing is you came up with the Purposeful Work Week, and it's
Yeah.
your book. It's a vital resource, and share what inspired you and personal experiences influencing its writing.
Yeah, the Purposeful Work Week is actually probably one of the most transformative projects I created. It's actually the foundation of our main program that we work with business owners and entrepreneurs, and it's also the name of the book. When I wrote it, I didn't realize what it was until after the fact. So it's almost like I was watching all of the clients and customers that we were working with struggle, like actually struggle in the earlier stages of how can I find my time to enjoy this business, right? How can I find my time to scale this business and also live the life that I want to live? And it became like a reoccurring question that I would have on our consulting calls and our office hours, and I'm working with business owners about this. And I said, you know what? Instead of me just saying it one on one in these conversations, I got to put it in a book. I got to put it in something so you can actually take notes and strategize how your week can be purposeful, how you can stop spinning your wheels and feeling overwhelmed, but really focused and tailored and targeted to the actions and activities that one can make you money, right? That's kind of like the big thing. Two, that can buy back your time. And three, create these experiences that make you feel fulfilled instead of feeling overwhelmed. And that's how that book kind of came to fruition. Like we released it in 2023. I was already working with clients, but I was like, you know what? Instead of me just saying it, instead of you all going through our courses and our training and our program, let me give you something physically tangible that you can take with you wherever you are in the world. And that's how the book came out. Like it hit bestseller in like 5 categories when we launched it earlier this year on Amazon. We're doing like a bunch of speaking and stuff throughout the next year for it too. So it's kind of amazing to see how one book can help so many people just restructure their week more effectively. Big time.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I love your passion, and I love your passion for coaching and so and then kind of impact since your release of the work, any feedback from people who've applied your methods and success stories. I know you kind of touched on that.
Yeah. One of the craziest reviews I saw on Amazon, one of the ladies said she purchased a book and it was like no fluff, straight to the point. Every single thing in the book was on actions you need to do to better your business and your life immediately. And that was a amazing testimonial. I don't even know her. She kind of shared that. A bunch of our clients, they've been sharing with their teams. They're like, this is what we're going to be reading as a team to structure how we're working effectively. I have some of the clients employees and team members saying like this book really changed how I look at my day. It really changed how I am being more effective day to day. It really changed how I handle burnout and overwhelm every day. And that's just from the book. The program itself, we've seen people implement the foundations from the book and from our consulting and from our program and basically scale their business to the point where it's like 10 to 15x. We've seen people that were working regular 9 to 5 jobs and you're like, man, I need to figure out how to get this going and use the framework in here and literally quit in 60 days. So you, there's so much stuff that's in here, but I think the big thing is you need to know that even if you're going through the storm or challenges or whatever's happening in your business or your life, you can restructure your schedule to see better results. Like that's the big thing, I would say.
Yeah, I love that. Um, then kind of talk about this uh from this idea, you talk about balancing business and personal life and building a business around your life rather than the other way around. And how can a lot of entrepreneurs at the, we're year end, that you do a lot of contemplation, strategizing for next year. How can they achieve this balance and maybe share a few key strategies from the book?
Yeah, in the book I talk about not just KPIs, but I call it P2 KPIs. So P2 KPIs in the Purposeful Work Week is your personal and professional key performance indicators, right? I think especially small business owners, they don't actually really realize what KPIs are and they have no set targets, and that's already one challenge, right? What are the targets I want to see for my business in marketing and sales and fulfillment and administration? What I want to see for the business. Now, what oftentimes happens when you are doing these strategic plans and you're mapping out these targets, whether it's 12 months from now, 6 months from now, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, is these goals can be really massive. But if it's not anchored in what you want personally, you can lose the momentum you need to see results. So that's why it's called P2 KPIs, because you want to actually create your targets for your professional life, which is like administration, marketing, sales, fulfillment, like those things, map that out. But then what do you want for yourself? Like actually know what you want personally. What do you want to see for yourself and link that to your goals? And I guarantee you, if you start operating on that level, which is the Purposeful Work Week, and we go deeper into it in the book, but if you start operating like that from a very early stage, you're going to see more momentum and you'll actually find more fire for you to get the results you want to see in less time. Like that's what I would tell everyone to do, especially year end. Start thinking like that. This is how we built the academy. This is how we built our consulting agency, and this is how we help a lot of our clients too.
Yeah, I love that. We kind of have around, 10 minutes or so, and addressing entrepreneurial challenges in your journey as a business growth consultant and time management coach. What are some common challenges you've observed among entrepreneurs when it comes to managing time and productivity? And how does your book propose to tackle these challenges?
Yeah, I think the most common challenge is what should I focus on? Right. I
Mm,
think the amount of calls and conversations I've had with clients, it's there are a certain number of hours in the day. Where do I need to put most of my time and energies to see the greatest return? And in the book, it really allows you to look at those areas within your organization and allows you to hone into your specialty, to your gift, to your skill set, to the thing that will actually, one, not cause you to want to throw in the towel and give up on your business, but then also, two, allows you to really hone into those few actions and activities so that you can work less and also generate more while outsourcing stuff to the right people. And I think that is the greatest challenge is how do I spend my time? I don't want to be working 15-hour days, right? Maybe I want to work 6-hour days. Purposeful Work Week shows you how to do that and then also shows you how to experience life at the same time.
yeah. Yeah. So well said.
Thank you.
Um, Looking ahead, what trends do you foresee in the world of entrepreneurship, particularly in the context of time management and productivity, and how should entrepreneurs prepare to adapt to these changes?
I think right now the world is starting to move even greater into remote work, especially since the pandemic. Um, it's good and bad. I feel like when someone has an actual physical location that they're working, when they leave that location, they can turn off the clock. They're like, I'm done. I'm done for the day. When you're working remotely, you're always on the clock. You're always finding things to do. Do I focus on marketing? Do I focus on sales? Do I focus on strategy? And what I'm starting to see is there is a shift that's taking place right now where people are really starting to create clear boundaries or wanting to create clear boundaries for how they work, whether it's remotely at home or whether it's in an office space. So I think what's really going to start shifting is the importance of, do I really need to hustle like this 24/7? Like do I is this ideal for my health? Is this ideal for my family? Is this really where I want to be? And how can I make greater results by working less? That's what I see really starting to happen, especially with technology and things that's shifting like drastically right now.
Yeah. And also kind of boundaries like where they work, they and then and boundaries with who they work and I know a lot of colleagues they turn away clients just because they're, quite frankly, a pain in the asses. So
Yep.
um and then along that line you talk about overcoming burnout and you've spoken about facing burnout yourself and kind of how you overcame this challenge and when you approach to coaching others.
Yeah, I think for burnout is one of those things that it's like a dark cloud that can follow you everywhere you go. It's really hard to get out of it. Like really hard. Realistically, when I really got hit with burnout that first time, it
Mm-hmm.
took me 6 to 8 months to actually get out of that.
Wow.
And what I needed to do is slow down and reflect on what it is that I'm building and why is it that I'm building it. And this is actually probably the greatest thing that we do with a lot of our clients, no matter how big the organization is or how small, it's getting into the core values and the core reason that this business owner is building their brand and really reshaping how they operate so that they don't ever face burnout again, right? So that they don't ever question what they're building again. And it can be done really quickly. It's just you need the support. Like you can't do it by yourself. Like it's really hard. And time is one of those things I don't think anyone wants to waste.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I recall, my days as a surgeon, and I'm just like, man, this is not sustainable. This is like the body can only take so much stress, and it's just like, just hustling for a salary for some other, CEO. That's not my idea of freedom. So, you also talk about Reboot X Academy, and what is this inspiration behind founding this Reboot X Academy? It's an incubator, and what kind of things do you plan to accomplish?
yeah, we launched REBOOTX Academy in 2020. And it kind of came from my first book, which is called Reboot: The Path to Personal Breakthrough. All of our clients can get access to that. Sadly, if you're not, you don't get access to it. But when I wrote that book in 2019, it kind of came off. of the energy of my burnout. And I realized people actually need to reboot how they're thinking, how they're moving, how they're operating personally and professionally. And then that became the foundation of REBOOTX Academy, which my wife and I co-founded, that really allowed a lot of the business owners that stepped in to look at what is really happening within my business, and am I actually getting the results that I really want to see? Like, is this really the life that I want to live, being a business owner, as a business leader? And let's either blow this whole thing up and rebuild it, or let's actually look at how we can improve so that we can get better results. And we kind of been really like changing the lives of business owners through consulting, through our programs, through our offerings. And what I see this is really as a place, a safe space for other business leaders to get resources to transform their business and their life. Like that's REBOOTX Academy in a nutshell.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. Um, and then this idea of your work emphasizes building a businesses around one's life. Actually, this idea of vision of entrepreneurship and kind of what is your vision for, and then moving forward, how do you help people achieve this vision?
Hmm. Everyone has a set way they want to work, right? Some people want to work 8 hours, some people want to work 4. And what I see is you should not be using a cookie cutter approach when it comes to entrepreneurship. I think everyone has a path, everyone has a skill set, everyone has a way they want to operate, and finding out how to customize your life and your business the right way is what I see entrepreneurship as, right? I am not going to tell you to work 16 hours if that's not what you want to do per day. Like that doesn't make any sense, right? If you want to work 5 to 6 hours per day, let's figure out how to structure your systems within your business so you can achieve that goal without burning out. That to me is entrepreneurship. And that is what a lot of the business owners who work with us and organizations who work with us aim to accomplish, and we help them accomplish that in less time. Like that's it.
Yeah. How can people follow you and reach out to you?
Yeah, definitely. If you want to connect with me, basically you can find me on social media, Femi Doyle-Marshall. You can also go directly to our REBOOTX Academy website, just rebootx.com, and you'll find everything there. If you want to hop on a call and chat with me directly and the team, or if you want to actually pick up the Purposeful Workweek book, I'm actually doing signed copies for that. You got to go to rebootx.com, and you'll see the Purposeful Workweek book. You can just grab it from there, and I'll personally sign it and ship it to you. Or you can also grab it. You can grab it on Amazon as well too. So there's a few ways you can get in contact with me. You'll find me. Just search my name or go to rebootx.com.
Yeah. And for all the audience out there, let's thank Femi for coming on. And I love his passion. He's so succinct and so well spoken. And be sure to follow his socials, give him a like, share, follow, comment, and subscribe. And with that, thanks so much for coming on to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.